If you're a busy mom, you know exactly how hard it can be to even find about 5 minutes for yourself, let alone half an afternoon. So, the right journal can actually help you pause, reflect, and even feel more in control without adding more to your plate. So, in today's video, I'm actually sharing my top 5 recommendations for Japanese style journals and notebooks for busy moms. These are low maintenance, beautiful, and they're designed to help you feel more organized, grounded, even on the days when it really doesn't feel like it. So let's get started. So first and foremost, I wanted to talk about the Hobonichi Techo for moms who really want just a quick little daily check-in. So this is the Hobonichi Techo in A6, and this is the 2025 Midori. They're both A6 size. I wanted to give you both options just because I actually don't use the Techo anymore. I actually use the Hibino. But Let's start with the Hobonichi Techo. This is in an A6 size. This cult favorite, it's cult favorite for a reason because each page gives you one full page, which is perfect if you want like a quick little 5-minute daily check-in. So I'll just show you guys just a blank page so you can see what I'm talking about. So here you get one page. You have like a little calendar on the side. It gives you some space for writing just a few words about your day. I like the fact that it gives you enough space for write about anything and everything that you want, but also it's so quick and effortless that it doesn't feel like you're going to be sitting here for 5 hours. Now, if you want a little bit more time to spend, then what I'm currently actually using is the Midori Hibino. You have one page that is dedicated as sort of like your agenda. You have like a full time slot, time blocking calendar here. And then here you can use this section for your agenda, which is kind of what I like to do. So I have agenda and I have events or how I'm actually feeling. And then these are sort of like the actual memory keeping portion of my journal, and then any reflection. So because it allows me to kind of sub-segment my page a little bit differently, I personally like this, and it doesn't take me that much longer than to use this. But if you're short on time, I would definitely recommend using the A6 size Hobonichi. I used to use this religiously and I really did enjoy it. I liked how minimal it was. So it's not to say that you couldn't use it. It's just if you're short on time, I would go with the A6 Hobonichi. If you have a little bit more time or you want more memory keeping but in a smaller compact setup, then I would go with the Hibino. Let's talk about number 2, which is we're going to stay with actually Midori. I wanted to talk about the Midori notebook. So Midori notebook, this is the MD notebook, and this is great if you literally just want a notebook, a reliable, good old-fashioned notebook that gives you enough space for checking in. This is for someone who actually wants some time, like 10 to 15 minutes each day, and you can just kind of write whatever you need to. Now I will say I have both sizes. I have both the A5 size as well as the B6 Slim. I love both for totally different reasons. I end up actually using the B6 Slim mainly for planning out social media, so we don't really need to review that. I'm not using this as a journal. The A5 size, however, I do end up using this as long format journaling. The bottom section of the page is perforated, so whenever I'm done with the page, I can just kind of rip this off. I don't do a ton of decoration here, like its main function. Like sometimes I do, but for the most part, I tend to not really decorate this very much. It's more just there for me to just write and kind of capture how I'm feeling. But also it gives you enough space for you to process your emotions. So if you're finding that your brain feels cluttered, with open tabs, school reminders, errands, meal plans, this is your brain dumping zone. This is sort of that journal where you can just write down everything that you want because you're met with a blank page. It's not keeping things complicated. I personally love the A5 size for longer format, and then the B6 Slim is really great if you want something quick and portable. Yeah, speaking of portable, let's talk about the Traveler's Notebook, which is also another cult favorite. and for a good reason. If I could find mine. Here it is. I'm just going to show you the small one, but I mean, I have the regular size one. So depending on your needs, what this provides you with is essentially flexibility. If you're traveling, I still love the smaller one just a little bit more, just because it's small, so small and compact. If I want to do more longer format planning and journaling, this is sort of like my happy medium hybrid. And no, I still haven't fixed the front patch, so don't come for me in the comments. I like the idea here that like most of the inserts are very nice and small and slim. Your commitment is not very huge when it comes to that. And it's beautifully crafted. The outside, it changes as time goes on. You can customize the inserts for daily journaling, for memory keeping, for weekly planning if that's what you want, or just for a place where you can just write down something funny and use your inserts as more like a commonplace book. I do have one insert here that I end up using more like a daily journal. And I have another, and I have a weekly, and I have another insert where I can use more like a daily planner. So this is in a grid setup. So here, this allows me for more functional brain dumping, and you know, it's more run like a commonplace book / bullet journal. And then where this really shines is the space arrangement that you get with the weekly, which I really, really love. I can keep it fairly functional, or I can go and decorate it as much as I want. Like here, I can keep it super busy and it's still like a really lovely creative outlet. So I guess it depends on like what your needs are or what you're craving. The Traveler's Notebook can create a system that actually helps you kind of get to that goal. With the little one, it's like a whole other conversation, because this is fantastic if you're crunched for time and you're always on the go. Because you're always on the go, sometimes you just need like a quick little reminder, which is how I like to use my monthly. I used to just do memory keeping in the monthly, but I don't anymore. Most of the information that kind of comes my way, whether it's something funny that I want to keep track of, or just whatever has happened, or a quick little reminder, I like to use these dot grid notebooks. This one happens to be from Muji. You can get them from Traveler's Notebook, but there's so many different ones that are available now. And then the weekly is a quick little like happy hybrid between planning and memory keep journaling. Sometimes I just keep my plans fairly functional, and other times when I want to write a little bit more, I just add the details maybe afterwards. But you know, nevertheless, it allows for both creativity, for a little bit of journaling, a little bit of planning, if that's how you choose to do memory keeping. By the way, if you love videos like this, when we're talking about planners and journals and planner systems, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't had a chance to just yet, because I would love to have you in the community. Okay, let's get back into the video. Let's talk about now what happens if you kind of want to look back on the full like few years, because honestly, it does become a little bit overwhelming sometimes to keep track of all of these different systems. So for that reason, I actually really like the 5-year diary. I happen to have this from Midori, but you can get this also from Hobonichi. They look really, really similar. I just happened to buy this, and I've had this for a full year. And this is where this gets interesting. So each year, you get this much space. This is your space commitment. It's literally 1 to 2 sentences that you get to write about that particular day. And because it's very minimal time commitment. Sometimes I end up basically just backdating it in case I haven't like updated it. So I mean, I do have to backdate just a little bit, about a week and a half here. But for the most part, it's awesome when you look back on the previous year of what you did that particular day. And this can be really cool to kind of look at both your... It's perfect for the mom who wants to reflect, but then keep it super simple. Each page holds entries for the same date across 5 years, and you only need to write a few lines per day, which is really cool. And it's ideal if you're really running very little on time, but you have big feelings. It's also great for recording milestones, which can be really great if your children are young. And over the years, you'll see just how much you evolved. You can really see what's happening, what are your actual cycles, what what chapter of your life you're in, because 5 years is long enough for you to kind of look back and actually reflect and see growth and change within your own life. So that's kind of why I really love this. And honestly, it's very small, very discreet. It doesn't take up a ton of space, but then it becomes really, really meaningful. And you get to a point with this after 1 full year where you actually want to update it. You don't want to let go of that habit, because then you want to kind of see like what happened last year. Oh, and I'm gonna share the last one. The last one is going to be like a hybrid between, this is a hybrid between almost like planning and journaling. I have, this is the take a note. I'm gonna take it out of this cover because sometimes I really don't like using the cover. So this is the take a note planner. I have this in a B6 slim size. Oh no, it's a B6 size. Here's why I love this. I love this because it gives you both a weekly layout, it gives you a monthly layout, and at the very back you also have a full-blown note section. I wouldn't say you get a ton of note pages, but it's enough for you to kind of keep track of the days if you want to. The reason why I also love this is because within, even if you don't use the note section, within the weekly, it's more than sufficient. It's more than sufficient for you to kind of write down what are the priorities for the week. I like to keep a track of like mental health, of how am I doing mentally, how am I doing emotionally, is there anything new that is happening that really needs attention right now? What were the memorable moments for the entire family, as well as what were family moments that really need not only reflection, but you need time to kind of capture them? And then what were my weekly reflections? My weekly reflections section is probably the most valuable out of all of it, because not only do I have a space where I can kind of write down difficult emotions, if I want to unpack it, I can either grab my longer format notebook or I can just go to the note section back here and I can kind of write a little bit more about that particular day. And then the daily sections here, it allows you to kind of write down what has happened in really quick bullet point format within your day, and how did you really feel about it. So, but the reflection, it allows me to actually look back instead of just focus on how I'm feeling within that moment. And I think that especially if you're busy, it's so important to sometimes to take the time to reflect back, because it's so rare that we look back. It's so easy for us to look back as moms on the things that we failed on, or the things that didn't work out well, or it didn't land the way that we were hoping to. It's so much harder, at least I don't know about you, but that's how it is for me. It's so much harder to reflect back on the things that went well, and you can give yourself credit for those things. And I know that being a mom and being busy and feeling like you need to be really everywhere, it can feel like all the things and all of your efforts become unnoticed. But I'm telling you, things like this, especially if you're capturing family memories, become so valuable, because then you're not just capturing your own memory, but you're capturing other people's memories as well within the family. And it just, I can't even express just how valuable this becomes over years. So these were my recommendations. I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comment section below, which out of all 5, which one has been your favorite. For me personally, my favorite tends to be the take a note if I want to do more just condensed memory keeping. But then honestly, I have a ton of fun with the traveler's notebook, especially the little guy. I have lots of fun trying to kind of squeeze even more information in. It's sort of like a hybrid planning style, and I really, really love it. It taps into a level of my creativity that not many things do. But whether you're looking for structure or calm or just a space to breathe, all of these journals, I think, are a gentle tool to support your life and not really complicated. You don't need to be perfect or consistent. You just need to be present whenever you're using them, and I think that that's the main key. But let me know in the comments which one of the journals spoke to you the most, or if you have a favorite that I perhaps didn't mention. And if you want more videos just like this and you enjoyed this, reviews, minimalist systems, and ways that you actually use the tools that you already have, please subscribe and hit the like button so that I know that you love videos just like this. And just keep planning, keep journaling, keep doing all the things. And I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye.